So they were a very weak race. Physiological. I can't pronounce that. Physiological. They're phys. I can't speak. What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and welcome back to One Mind Syndicate, where we bring you 40K videos each and every day. And today we will be diving into the brand spanking new model that was revealed just a few days ago, none other than the ancient star god, the Void Dragon. So this is huge, massive, almost as big as the freaking Silent King returning, which I never thought was going to happen. The Silent King is akin to the Emperor of Mankind. So that's crazy. Just imagine having the Emperor come back. That's how the Necrons are feeling right now. So if you play Necrons, this is your time to shine and bask in its glory, because that's probably going to be the last time you Necron players get these awesome releases such as this in 9th edition, because, I mean, what comes next? You've got your Silent King back, you've got the Catan Shard of the Void Dragon, the Nightbringer, you've got the Deceiver, you've got a Transcendent Catan. Like, I mean, yeah, I guess you could bring a few other Catan, named ones at least, like the Burning one, the one that's supposed to be like going crazy. So, besides that, I mean, in new models, like, this is it. Because like the two biggest things was the Silent King and the Void Dragon, and here they are. So we saw these two models get kind of leaked a few weeks back with the whole Indomitus box set and whatnot, and when I first saw it, people were saying, oh, this is the Katana, the Void Dragon. I didn't want to believe it, because the Void Dragon, I thought, was going to be more dragon-like in appearance. Don't get me wrong, this sculpt is utter badassness. Just look at it. The wings, the tail, the spear. It's perfect. I love it. But that being said, I always had a different image for the Catan in my head, which was what you're seeing here. Like, just imagine having a massive beast on the battlefield that can take on, like, titans and whatnot. And don't get me wrong, Catan in the lore can take on way more than titans. For example, the Void Dragon took on the Emperor of Mankind, allegedly, because from what we've been seeing, from what we've been hearing, the lore once again contradicts itself. Which, let's just jump into it. So way back when, before like the Imperium is what it is now, the Emperor fought against the Dragon of Mars, or so to speak. He fought against a dragon upon Terra. He was unable to kill it, but he pacified it with a friggin' sword through its neck. Or so the legend states. So using the dragon as a form of payment, the Mechanicus, the Mechanicum of Mars, they struck a deal with the Emperor and Terra and humanity. And that's when the alliance became solidified. So things get a little wishy-washy here, but supposedly they took this dragon and imprisoned it beneath the red sands of Mars. And lo and behold, supposedly there are cults that pray to it, that the Omnissiah that we know of is actually the Void Dragon. So, are they praising to a Xeno god? I mean, I guess so. However, this was supposed to be the only uncharted, that's funny, the only uncharted Catan god. Because as we all know, the Catan got split into multiple fragments called shards, and those are weaker versions of what the ancient Catan used to be. So, back in the day, the Catan were essentially massive clouds of space energy that would just consume stars, consume all life, essentially vampiric entities, I guess you could say. However, they then coalesced into these physical representations that we know of as Catan. They allied with the Necrons during the War in Heaven to take on the Old Ones. and once the old ones were pushed to the brink, they lost. They decided to flee outside the galaxy, and then that's when the Catan kind of turned on the Necrons. The Necrons used to be not these robots, the skeletal robots that we all know. They were flesh and blood. However, they had a very, very short lifespan, something around 40 years, and they had cancer. So they were a very weak race when it comes to their physiology. And because of that, they made a deal with the Catan to go into a biotransference chamber to come out with stronger bodies. This was a massive trick by the Catan, and they imprisoned them into these metallic necrodermis bodies with no soul. And yeah, the Silent King got pissed, and now he's returned. And apparently he saw the terror that is the Tyranids. He's like, I gotta do something. However, with his return, apparently he came back with a shard of the Void Dragon, which before, like I said earlier, the Void Dragon was whole. Where he got this shard, does that mean he went to Mars? Has he struck a deal with the Adeptus Mechanicus? Like, we don't know. And that's some of the epicness that I can't wait to see with the new pieces of lore that come out with the Silent King and the Void Dragon. Because as far as we know, the Void Dragon, which apparently was sharded, was strong enough to tank Blackstone fortresses, multiple ones. He fought toe-to-toe with the Eldari, god of the Forge, Vol, and made it out in one piece. And not just that, but there were the pylons that were encircling the Eye of Terror, supposedly were put there by the Void Dragon, because Catan are weak to the warp. That's their one major weakness. It's the warp energy, warp entities, that kind of thing. So obviously shutting down the Eye of Terror closes down the warp from spilling out into real space, overall, keeping them safe. But this dude, like I said, tanked Blackstone fortresses, which are known to blow up like planets and stars and stuff like that. So if a single shard of the Void Dragon can do that, imagine what the actual unsharded, fully intact Catan could do back in the heyday, during the War in Heaven. Like, it's all starting to make sense as to why the old ones lost. So, the Void Dragon having the nickname as the strongest Catan was really fitting, because in one of the more recent lores, it states that a shard of the Void Dragon escaped and just began decimating Necron world after world. Like, dozens of worlds were fully destroyed until finally the Necrons managed to cage it up again. And the way the Catans are caged are in a Tesseract vault, which I don't think a regular vault can freaking cage the Void Dragon, seeing how powerful it is. So maybe that's when like the celestial orreries or some massive planet-sized Necron constructs are used to contain the energy of these gods. And it's just crazy to think of something like that being, just really, really close to Terra under Mars. So if something were to happen, some huge, massive, like, breach, maybe the Dragon of Mars escapes, it's like Terra's right there, they're screwed. Like, unless you can get the entirety of the Imperium there to protect Terra, or maybe that's what causes the Emperor to reawaken, or something along those lines, then maybe that'll be like a huge campaign to kind of revive the Emperor. At this point, I'm just throwing ideas out there because, like, when it comes to Necron lore, the Catans are my favorite part. And I, for one, cannot wait to see the stats for this guy, because the Nightbringer's pretty good. The Deceiver was competitive at what time because of his ability to, like, reposition your units. So I'm trying to see how great this guy's going to be in 9th edition. Now I'm going to link a video to this where I go more in depth into the lore, the background of the Void Dragon, so you guys can go check that one out for more in-depth lore on it. But for now, let me know how stoked you guys are for this model. Do you like the design? Do you want it to be really indicative of what its lore is? I want it to be such a great powerhouse on the battlefield, but I'm pretty sure you guys can hear all the fireworks going on. I've been trying literally to record this video for the past 3 days, but this is like the weekend of the 4th of July in the US, and fireworks are just non-stop. It's really annoying, but hey, it is what it is. So let me know your thoughts down below, and as always, this is the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.